tuning in to the online broadcast network, AFTERBUZZ TV. Over 20 million weekly downloads in over 150 countries, and your #1 source for after-show entertainment. AFTERBUZZ TV, the destination for TV superfans, producing after-shows for over 300 of your favorite TV shows, interviewing celebrities and showrunners, and bringing you behind-the-scenes exclusives. All thanks to E! Entertainment's Maria Menounos, producer Kevin Undergaro, and internet leader Akamai. Now, let the buzz begin!
There it is.
Yeah!
That's the song. That is the song that broke the internet, ladies and gentlemen. We are here at AfterBuzzTV.com for the WWE Elimination Chamber event, not pay-per-view, recap show. I'm your host, Steve Kaufmann, and I'm joined, as always, by...
My name is George Hermoza.
And I am Christy Olson.
And if you're listening to my voice on iTunes and or SoundCloud, please like, rate, subscribe, all the fun things. If you're listening to my voice on YouTube, either live or not live, like, rate,
we are
subscribe.
Live, but we are live.
We are live on YouTube right now. If you're listening to me
deal,
live, I'm going to drop into the chat, say some words. If the internet's still not broken, because the internet, Kevin Owens broke the internet tonight. Did everybody else notice?
Were those fireworks?
Oh, wow, dang. We're pulling out all the stops.
That's the internet breaking.
I thought that was popcorn.
That's the internet breaking.
But before
it's John Cena's brain going.
But before we move on, I think you have something to do.
I have been co-champion alongside Kathy Kelly for 2 weeks. It has been the joy of my life. But undisputedly, the champ.
What's happening right now? Yes.
The champ is here.
Yes.
You should hold it the other way.
I've been kind of rehearsing that since it happened. The champ is here. Yes.
Wow.
Your new predictions champion, Christy
Have you
Olson.
never won anything before in life?
Bella Army member, Christy M. Olson.
Christy Bella.
Who predicted not only one upset but two tonight.
Two. Listen, can
How
we
you
just
picked Ryback,
can we
I have no
discuss
idea.
this for
I
2
don't either.
seconds?
Look at that. Look, what are you wearing?
Well, we'll feed me more. Listen,
I love your
he's
Ryback
all
impression.
about the power of attraction, and all week I've been saying, if I wear my Ryback shirt, if I just say to myself, Ryback is gonna win, then he will be the Intercontinental
So you've worn this
champion.
Ryback shirt all week?
I win every single effing day. No, I'm just kidding.
Smells like you've been wearing all week.
I've actually been wearing my Nikki Bella shirt all week.
Okay, the Fearless.
So I put that out there too.
You made
I'm
that
just
work.
saying. Yeah.
So, did you guys-
basically, the whole lineup from tonight can just thank me.
Fair enough.
And
Did
my
you guys
puzzle
watch?
thoughts.
Did you guys watch the pre-show?
Yes.
The pre-show is really good. We got a bonus match. We got Stardust versus Ryback.
Is it really a bonus match now? Wait, what? You say Ryback?
Zack Ryder. No, Ryback did 2 matches.
You know what? I don't blame you 2 single bits because Zack Ryder is so forgettable.
That's not typically my... I'm just going to stick with that because I was incorrect. But that's not typically what I think of Zack Ryder.
I was gonna say, like, is it really a bonus match now that we kind of expect there to be a bonus match? It's like,
Well, yeah, because I think
yeah.
the past 3 or 4 weeks we haven't had a bonus match.
Well, on the last one there was. It was
Yeah.
R-Truth versus Stardust.
Yeah. Okay, well
For
then
about 2.5 minutes.
I'm already putting money in the Steve's wrong jar. Just that's 2
That's fine.
things of money.
I thought Zack Ryder was gonna be on a momentum because he had that cool little match back last Monday with John Cena with his boys from Entourage.
Yes.
But it turns out that was just all for nothing because Stardust won. But apparently they kept building for the Arrow crossover thing. I don't know. I don't watch Arrow.
Have we heard the rumors? The rumors
Well, they
is that,
kept saying it over and over again during the match.
like, they're trying to build up to it because what I've read on, like, TMZ, I think picked this up, is that Stephen Amell wants to wrestle Stardust at SummerSlam. Which seems
You guys are reading TMZ Sports.
a little bit. Well,
Not
what
straight
it,
TMZ.
What it is a dirt sheet.
'Cause that's
a
all
dirt sheet said
Kardashians.
it because dirt sheets
But-
say that, but when dirt sheets say that about Stephen Amell, TMZ picks it up.
Oh, by the way, I
Right.
forgot we were joined by Dolph Ziggler.
Yes, Dolph Ziggler's here with
My
us
bad, I'm
in the
sorry.
blue trunks.
Does that say poo on the back of his trunks?
Probably.
Look, seriously.
Definitely, probably.
Look, doesn't it?
Oh my gosh, it totally does. Yep, POO is what I see.
All right.
Just saying.
But yeah, Stardust over Zack Ryder. Poor Zack Ryder. I want to say, like, I love Zack Ryder, and I was a huge fan of his years ago. I still am. You know, love the Z-True Long Island stories and everything. But if they're not going to use him, just let him go. Like, I don't want to see him, like, let go. Obviously, I don't want anyone to lose a job. But it's like, I want to see more of him. And the only way to see more of him is... hey, let him do the indie thing.
I'm glad you said that, because as someone who took a little bit of a time out and I don't know Zack Ryder's entire story, I don't give two craps about him. To be honest with you, and if I did hear a story, I'm sure that I probably would, but like it's like the Ryan Seacrest hair and the whole, there's nothing about him that is unique to me.
Well,
and that bothers me.
That's how they present him on television. And that's the issue we've all had, is that he was pretty much on the chopping block and decided, while I'm on the chopping block and while I'm still technically on the main roster of WWE, I'm going to use that. And he started a YouTube show. And this was, don't quote me on the year.
This is pre-network. This is 2010.
This was when it was crazy for a regular person to just try to do a YouTube show. And then he got really popular through that YouTube show.
Like, the shows were actually very, like, 6 minutes, 7 minutes, very, very entertaining. Like, a lot of inside jokes. He loves his boy band. Like, I mean, literally, it was just like, I was looking forward to it every single week. And essentially, and it's funny because even though he wasn't on TV, you'd hear the "We Want Ryder" chants. It's like, well, where are those coming from? The guy's not on TV. You'd see the signs, "We Want Ryder" signs, and then finally started putting him over, and then they kind of had a cool little thing going.
But what they butchered is that he was over for something he did on the internet. So they ignored it completely. And then they just painted him with whatever brush they wanted to paint him with. And they had a really silly thing where I think Eva Mendes was his girlfriend.
Nope.
Who was it?
Eva Mendes is an actress.
Oh, yeah.
So I'm going to go with Eve.
More in the jar.
You're thinking of Eve Torres.
Eve Torres, sorry.
Oh, love her too. You know what? She's just as cute as Eve Mendes.
I love Eve Torres.
Is gorgeous, actually.
Love Eve Torres in Hitch.
She's like 7 months pregnant right now. Oh. Still gorgeous.
Got it.
Still beautiful. Love her. Love her. And her and Maurice are still BFF. Just a little tidbitty for you.
But yeah, Zack Ryder got to defeat...
So anyway, Zack Ryder.
Zack Ryder.
So let's say Zack Ryder defeated Stardust on Wikipedia?
That's incorrect. Wikipedia is incorrect.
And I like
surprise,
that.
Surprise.
I do like one part of that match. JBL was like, "Oh, I was talking to Stardust. I was talking to Stardust. He's got a cool new move coming out. You know, he told me about it, and a cool new move, and he does the Crossroads. Like, oh, there it is. There's a new move, and it's like, dude, that's the Crossroads. No, it's not. Stardust has never done the Crossroads before.
But he renamed it the
like the Green Arrow.
No,
the Queen. Yeah,
the Queen Arrow's Revenge.
Something like that. Yeah.
I think you named it Queen Arrow's Revenge. He's building up towards hopefully Stephen Amell getting in the ring with him at SummerSlam, which is unlikely. Unlikely as like
probably never gonna happen.
A one-on-one match, no, but like he could face somebody that Stephen Amell chooses, and like there's a way to get Stephen Amell involved, but the people behind Arrow wouldn't let him get into the ring.
You never know. That's what Dana White said about Ronda Rousey as well.
Oh, touche, Mr. Hermoza.
Fair enough. But then we also get Miz TV.
Miz TV with Dana
What was
Bryan.
Miz wearing? Can we just get into this right now?
I have a theory that Maurice dresses the Miz. And she is a fantastically fashionable girl, but we all do a little hit and miss every once in a while. So I think maybe this one was a miss.
I think it was supposed to be a miss, though.
Yeah, I ultimately think that. But like, it was ridiculous. if I'm describing it correctly, it was a kimono but sleeveless and a hoodie. I think that's the best.
Listen, sleeveless kimono hoodies are the huge thing for the next season. I don't know if you guys keep up on this fashion stuff, but I mean, I'm just saying.
But
I'll be wearing a sleeveless kimono hoodie on the next PPV WWE.
In 2 weeks.
2 weeks.
In 14 days.
Thank you.
14 days when we're here for Money in the Bank. The title has to change hands again, just because.
I think the big news. About the Miz TV segment was, as opposed to a couple weeks ago, he said, "I'm not sure if I'm coming back." He said, "I'm definitely coming back."
Yes.
So that's good news for every Daniel Bryan fan. So I like that part of it. Of course, he's got a book coming out soon. I think his DVD comes out on Tuesday.
His DVD comes out around and also I like Miz calling out like that. The Miz was Daniel Bryan's pro on the first season of NXT. Like I love it when they call back.
A little blast from the past.
A little bit. A little bit of that, and I love the little setup they do. That if Bryan does come back, they can do something with the Miz.
Yeah.
That it was very clearly the difference of like you could use your power. Mm-hmm. You could use your power to have these people just drone on and be consumers to whatever you want.
Pretty much.
And Daniel Bryan gets a chance to say that's not who I am. And read my book, and I'll tell you all about it. Which is funny, because
that's one I can't wait to read. We haven't really seen a book from the WWE from a guy who kind of had that background.
Yeah.
The only other guy that kind of has that background is CM Punk. Obviously, he's not releasing a book, at least not through the WWE anytime soon.
His story's not done.
Yeah, exactly. You can say the same about Daniel Bryan, but again, I'm more interested about that independent era. Like, so he's kind of like the first to be that successful. Of course, as we clearly saw tonight, there are going to be many, many more.
Right.
But so yeah, that's one I'm very much looking forward to. I read all the books anyways, but the Daniel Bryan one I'm
really excited about that book.
Even more so.
And now we get into the pay-per-view.
Not a pay-per-view.
And it opens with Miss Lillian Garcia, my girl. Listen, I like Eden and JoJo. I think they're doing a great job. They both improve every single week. Mm-hmm. But there is nothing that tells me that a WWE show is on like hearing Lillian Garcia tell me that it's on.
See, that's how I feel about Howard Finkel.
Same here, actually.
I do love Lillian,
Howard Fink. The Fink was before. I know Lillian Garcia's been doing it forever, but the Fink was before her.
I do like Lillian though. I think it was the first time back since her surgery. So.
Yeah, it's been a hot minute.
Kudos to Lillian.
So,
by the way, we may have a project here at AfterBuzz with Lillian coming up.
Dibs.
Quite short.
Dibs.
She is the absolute best. I've had the opportunity to interview her a couple times, and just a really nice lady, and
very gorgeous too.
Yeah.
Oh my god.
Like TV doesn't do justice for how gorgeous she is.
No. And she's not quite in the same frame of life as some of the other girls, and she still looks 10 times better than a lot of the other chicks out there. So yeah, we love you, Lillian.
I call dibs on that project, Phil. Is it in Espanol?
Oh yeah.
Not quite.
Is it in Spanglish?
It is not.
Probably.
No.
Maybe it should be.
I'm gathering it has nothing to do
there.
with that.
By the way, because I know Lillian so well, I know Vince really loves her. She's one of the she's very much a company.
Well, she's been there since 98, 99, which is, if you think about it, that's a long time, especially for a diva.
And I got concerned when Eden and JoJo started coming in. I was like, I need to see Lillian. I'm sorry.
But Lillian's good enough at that job that, and I think they've been switching it up.
Yeah.
They've been switching it up that it's. She's
Here's the
still
thing.
gotta have a place.
Lillian was off for 2 years and then she came back.
Yeah.
That shows her power.
And the pipes on that chick.
And everyone's talking about Tony Chimmel in the chat. I agree.
Tony Chimmel too. The best part about Tony Chimmel, he did it not too long ago, I think in December, when he did the Rated R Superstar.
Also Justin Roberts, he's great. Justin Roberts.
Little love for him.
I like Justin Roberts
like
a lot. He wrote something around WrestleMania that made me cry.
I have a lot of respect for Justin Roberts, which I'll go into on another show.
All the things.
But it's not even for the reason that you think. I have a separate Justin Roberts story that I will always think highly of him.
Got it. Lillian Garcia. We open with a video package. Then Lillian Garcia in the ring to introduce the first ever tag team elimination chamber match. This is also the 20th elimination chamber match ever. And they take 13 minutes to bring out all the teams.
It was 13 minutes?
It was 12 or 13 minutes. It was
so unlucky.
It was about 5:13 by the time the match started, which my only thought was you could have done that in the pre-show. But I don't know the numbers. They do know the numbers. Who's actually watching the pre-show that isn't already subscribed?
Yeah.
You got to give people a few minutes to roll into it.
Yeah,
you know.
I understand that too. That if I were 13 minutes late getting from wherever I had to be to watch this, I'd be really happy I missed. I'd be really happy the match didn't start yet. But
I had to resubscribe, so it took me a while. No, I did. It's a true story.
So Phil and everybody else who had to resubscribe got to see this match.
Does that mean you got the show for free only for a day?
No. It didn't work out like that.
Okay. I see what you mean.
Well, no, he got May free, so he got 5 to 9. He got 5 to 9 p.m. free, and now he's paying for June.
Yeah.
He got May free.
First ever tag team elimination chamber match. I was excited for this match.
I was really excited for this match.
Start off with Lucha Dragons and Ascension.
Lucha Dragons and Ascension, they were both in.
I like that they did reference their feud in NXT as well. I always like
everything about that. I liked that El Torito was on the top of the pod. And in my mind, that meant Natalya should have been on the top of Cesaro and Kid's spot. I was like, that's the logical conclusion. And then the New Day, because they helped the Authority, got to be together. Got to be together.
For the
and
New
then
Day.
3 of them fit into a pod, which we were talking about this last month. We were talking about this 2 weeks ago when this was just coming out.
When you thought it was going to only be 3 teams.
I thought it was only going to be 3 teams in one elimination chamber and then one person per pod.
Who thought this was going to be?
And then, nope. But then they just made a bigger pod.
Yeah. They did reference it, though, on why Xavier Woods got to be in there. Because New Day helped out Authority. Oh,
wow.
I don't know.
That's happening.
That's supposed to be on mute. I was trying to sign into the chat roll, guys.
Yes.
But yeah, apparently New Day helped out. The Authority on SmackDown, thus Kane allowing Xavier Woods to be in the third man in the pod.
They were rewarded accordingly.
Of course. Well, because they're a really good heel team. Doesn't act like a heel just because they're a heel. They act bad, but they have their reasons to think they're good, and that's why I love the New Day. That's why they were my choice to win this match. The seeding of Elimination, I was actually very shocked with. Because, well, first off, before 2 teams get out of the pod, the Primetime Players and the New Day are still in the pods. And then the Ascension just starts running roughhouse and eliminating teams.
Hardcore. Brutal.
Which I was really happy about because I did not want to see a 14, including Torito, a 14-person Elimination Chamber match. So I was very excited that we got some eliminations before.
It's just a rumble at that point.
Real quick, Emmanuel Dominguez, they're not figurines, they're action figures.
Thank you.
Oh, touche.
That's
And you
very
know what?
important.
They all did look like they're action figures standing in those pods
Very
behind
much so.
the shiny plastic. Yeah, I felt like I was looking at life-size figures of all of their
Also,
action figures.
My other favorite high spot from this match was Kalisto. Well, it was fun. It was funny to have Kalisto at the top of the New Day pod, and the New Day just wouldn't let him go. And then later in the match, he eventually gets to Spider Kalisto, be Spider-Man, Spider Kalisto, to the middle, and then just drop down on somebody. Then have
That was crazy.
Then have El Torito do the same thing with not as good results.
I did like Ascension though. I did like how they kind of early on they kind of resemblance of the NXT Ascension, just kind of beating up the first 2 teams, Lucha Dragons and I want to say Matadores.
Yeah.
That's the Ascension I've been wanting to see for a while. It's just so funny. You book them strong and they're going to look strong.
Yeah.
So I don't know why they kind of had that weird, couple months of they're just either not being there or treated like jokes. But like I said, you book them strong, they're going to look strong.
Well, out of the gate, they were booked weird. Because out of the gate, it was New Age Outlaws.
Yeah.
And you had the New Age Outlaws just beat them a bunch of times where it's like, they're strong enough to overcome that, but that shouldn't be the first thing you do with them.
Right, and they were just trying to do this whole like crap talking thing.
Whereas if they had had the crap talking thing and then they beat down on 3 teams over 3 months and then the New Age Outlaws, they could lose to the New Age Outlaws. But we would already, in our minds, they're established as this monster powerhouse team, which this is the first we're seeing of them. They got to take down both the Los Matadores and the Lucha Dragons.
Let's just hope they keep following through with it.
Before getting taken down by the Primetime Players.
You ready to do it? Let's go.
They're doing it.
Millions of dollars. Millions of dollars. Millions of dollars. Millions of dollars.
All right. We're getting excited. And the Primetime Players eliminate the Ascension. And then in what I would consider the upset of the match, they eliminate Tyson Kidd and Cesaro. So we're the New Day and the Primetime Players in the final. Not the New Day and Cesaro and Kidd.
Oh, is that what you guys were predicting as well?
Absolutely.
Yeah.
Well, pretty much into the predictions, everybody either predicted New Day or Kidd and Cesaro. But I think I'm assuming everybody thought they were going to be the last 2 teams. But like I said, Primetime Players, I think that they should have a solid run at the titles as well. I think they should. That should be the natural next feud for New Day.
I think Harper and Rowan should be involved now.
They should be, but heel versus heel.
I felt like Harper and Rowan should have been involved in this match.
I feel like if they're really going to put a tag team division together, I'd have the Primetime Players feuding with New Day, and then I'd kind of start like a 1 or 2 month program with Kidd and Cesaro against Luke or Harper and Rowan.
Yeah, Harper, and then in dark matches and on main event and on lesser, you can still have the Matadores and the Lucha Dragons, and like they actually have some depth at tag teams right now that they could start.
And that happened sort of quickly. I mean, it wasn't that long ago that we were sort of saying what's going on with this
3 months ago. It was 3 months ago. We were like, so it's Cesaro and Kidd,
right?
Then the New Age Outlaws. The New Age Outlaws came back, and we were done.
Yeah.
So
and the primetime players have this history.
Yes.
I mean, it's good. It's good. I see them maybe taking it in the future, but I knew that it wasn't going to
they had a manager that didn't make it.
Can I say real quick though, how, and I say it all the time, just how over New Day are. They're so over that they're not even in the match, and still the entire crowd is chanting New Day sucks. So I think
I loved Kofi Kingston's face when that started happening. He sort of looked back at the crowd and was like, "Really? We're not even in this yet. Come on!" You gotta love him.
Yeah. Also, the 4-on-3 suplex was one of my favorites.
That was one of the highlights of the entire evening.
Yes, the 4-on-3 suplex on the New Day, because the way the eliminations went is you have Cesaro and Kid, and then the primetime players left with the New Day. Like, those are two teams that are smart enough to, like, we can team up and take down the New Day and just guarantee one of us are champions. But that didn't.
But we didn't see any of that strategizing
happen
until the Intercontinental match.
Not at all.
No.
But we had two teams that were smart enough, but New Day just played their numbers game almost immediately. I really like this match. They gave them, I think it was 23-10.
I'm trying to think. It's a good division. You got the 6 teams. You got Harper Rowan, the Usos when they come out. We forgot to mention the meta powers that were on the pre-show.
Meta powers. Yes.
They kind of helped took out the Miz.
That's
if they stay together.
I don't consider them depth in the tag team division.
You don't think they're gonna stick together and
they might, but maybe they're not just gonna be tag team champion material.
Right.
You know, they're gonna have their spots, like pretty much like we had in the pre-show or the match last year. Like they're gonna have spots, and we're gonna be excited for them. I don't see them as legitimate contenders.
You guys weren't surprised
for the tag team
to see
championship?
them not in
no.
business,
I wouldn't have been surprised to have not seen them at all tonight, but I was excited to see them on this TV. We did forget to talk about the Mega Powers coming out.
Well,
and referencing storylines that happened months ago.
Yeah.
That they don't always do this, so I have to give them credit when they do this. The Miz, he changes his name so much. Damien Sandow. The Miz Damien Sandow stuff was about 2-3 months ago. That I'm happy they referenced that again. They're doing a good job with the Miz, but we're moving on.
Either way, less than 20 minutes into this entire pay-per-view, people were already screaming, "This is awesome."
Yes.
Yeah.
Because that match was awesome, and that's the perfect match to set off the Elimination Chamber event. Although it is technically a pay-per-view in the sense that you're paying to see it.
Yeah.
But it's not a traditional pay-per-view because DirecTV wouldn't sell it to you. You have to pay WWE $9.99 a month.
$9.99.
Well, technically, you have to pay.
To see Darren Young steal the show.
Yes,
just saying
that happened.
Right.
We get Nikki Bella versus Paige versus Naomi, a triple threat match for the Divas Championship. Yes. Just to put it in perspective, I will pull up the spreadsheet to be double.
I really want to talk to you guys about this because. Was I the only one?
You were the only person to say Nikki Bella.
Only one to say that Nikki was going to retain this.
And only King Scott Narver said Paige. Everyone else said Naomi.
Yeah,
and we were within our rights.
You were so sure. Yeah, and rightfully so. And I have mad love for Naomi, and I think that she is on the upslide, and it's going to happen for her soon. But it wasn't her time yet. I was so surprised to see those predictions and to see that you all thought that this was going to be Naomi's moment, because I just don't. She's still getting there, and I think that she's got a little bit more to give, and they know that.
She's amazing.
She is amazing, and that's what makes me think that she's got more amazing to come. It's not yet.
Well,
not yet.
My issue is with the women's division in general. As to that's that's already my problem. They're a divas division.
Just that there's a women's division.
No. That they are the divas division. So I'm having trouble comprehending it because I'm thinking they're all gonna be like Fabulous Moolah.
Right.
They're all gonna be white hat, black hat, heel, face. That my mind is still having trouble comprehending that it's no, they're all just.
It's getting a little muddy.
It's getting very muddy, and week to week they can just change, and it's all these. So the idea that Naomi, from an old school wrestling perspective, went from a face to a heel.
And quickly.
About 3 weeks ago, right? 2 weeks ago?
Yeah.
All leading into this match. Where I'm well, she has to win then. Because she's conceivably in a match with two faces, two good people, I guess, although I don't see Nikki that way.
Right.
Although Paige would be the only one where I'm white meat, absolutely.
Yeah.
Everyone loves Paige.
Yeah, I guess I understand that, but I really think Naomi's gonna do it. It's gonna be her time, but not quite yet.
I mean, it's gonna happen for Naomi.
Yeah,
I thought it was gonna happen.
And I can't wait for it too. And I love her, and I love Nikki and Paige, of course. If I could pick a matchup, if I could do my dream WWE lineup, I would say Divas match, triple threat, Nikki, Naomi, Paige.
And a couple people in the chat are saying this is the 189th day Nikki is champion. She's going after somebody's record. Somebody who's probably going to remain nameless to them.
We have 5 more weeks.
Oh,
Yes.
that happens.
I think both fairly and unfairly, I am comparing this match because I thought it was okay, but unfairly, I'm just comparing them to pretty much almost any NXT women's match in the past month or two.
I've been seeing a lot of that on the internet now.
Especially
don't do that, boys.
amazing,
You'll be disappointed.
amazing,
Don't do that.
practically flawless match with Becky Lynch and Sasha Banks around a week and a half ago. Even like and to be fair, maybe if I want to compare it to a triple threat match, there was a match with Becky Lynch, Charlotte, and Bayley that was really good. And my beef, and I was saying this on the SmackDown show, I just kind of feel bad for them because here NXT is the developmental, even though they're trying to make it as big as the WWE, not as big obviously, but
A third brand.
We're getting there.
Here you are saying, well, if you do good, if you're ready, you're going to go up to the main roster. But what do you do when the main roster girls aren't as good as the NXT girls?
Because they're reality TV show
Well,
girls, not
that's
wrestlers.
Here's what I would
Right?
like
Yeah,
to see.
I mean, I see what you're saying, but
Here's what I would like to see, and I
That's
only
fine.
give myself one of these a show because I could do a whole show just booking from an armchair. I would like to see 4 women from NXT get called up all together and then join Paige and stand alone and say, we're the women's division, we have our own belt.
I said that.
So then you can still have
see
total...
chicks who can't really wrestle and made it because
Yeah.
you look cute. Bye-bye.
But your reality show can still promote the overall product, so more eyes that wouldn't normally watch will still watch. But we're women wrestlers and you guys are divas, and we're gonna make that distinction clear. That's what I would do. If you guys want to do it, please feel free to credit me in whatever way.
I said that before the
see
show.
fit.
Not that, but I said Charlotte, Becky, and Sasha should be like the Shield, and Paige playing that CM Punk role.
I like that.
I think that would be cool. And somebody was like, well, what about Bayley? Bayley's just too nice to be a heel.
Yeah, there's that.
She's just too darn
But
cute.
that's the
she
thing.
is.
If you can
Cute.
call up a big enough group,
Yeah.
Yeah.
you can call up a big enough group that we're a group. Some of us happen to be liked by the fans. Just we have a directive group that our mission statement
and you know
is
what?
to do.
As a female fan, I would love that.
That's-
I would love that.
But
And
that would
this
require
was
giving more.
clearly-
But that would require giving them more than one segment a night.
Right. Well, and tonight was clearly about Total Divas. I expect to see this on the finale or the mid-season finale or something, the 3 of them going at it together. But you know what? I watched Total Divas 2. I'm waiting on the edge of my seat for the next 5 weeks until we have a new episode of that.
Got
This was the closest I was getting tonight. I was excited about it.
So
too.
It wasn't an A+ match to me. I expected maybe a teensy bit more, but was happy with the outcome.
But 6 minutes 4 seconds, pretty standard match.
Yeah, I expected them to be in that slot where they can cut them, right? What is it, like the number 7 slot?
Yeah.
When they came out second, I was like, oh, gotta stop doing my mascara now. Gotta go watch the show.
Well, that's to be expected. If you have the 20-minute 13-man elimination chamber match first,
right.
you can't then do like Cena Owens because Cena Owens came next. Like you can't do another like huge just drop the mic kind of a match. You have to kind of ebb it.
We gotta bring it down with
You
some
have to-
divas.
Well, but not bring it down. But that's a different tone, different pace. There's
Right.
only 3. It's a different story. Like
Yeah.
you would be able to ebb and flow the whole card that way.
Yeah.
Because match number 4 of the night, match number 3 on the card, is the one that broke the internet. Even before it ended, this match broke the internet. What are our thoughts on this match? Because I'm not
afraid
gonna.
I'm gonna be in trouble with this one. I don't care a whole lot about Owens. There will have to be more that happens before I will care more about him.
Got it.
And I just don't. He doesn't have enough of a persona to me. Like, I just look at him and I go, okay, what are you really like, the chubby guy who can still do stuff? And once he started wrestling, he does have some fantastic moves and really blew me away. But you gotta have that persona when you walk into the ring. You gotta be a John Cena. You gotta be a Ryback. Like,
not in a world of John Cena's and Ryback.
Him yet.
You're never gonna see that. What you're gonna see is similar to what you saw from CM Punk. That he's not going to. You're in a world of Rybacks. You're in a world of John Cena's. You're in a world of people that are the same, cut from the same cloth, to look the same way, because that's proven success. So we're going to keep making those people.
Yeah.
Kevin Owens is going to be the antithesis. I was about to say antithesis. It's like, that's not how you say that word.
We know what you mean.
He's going to be the antithesis to that. He's going to be a guy who shows up and says, I only fight for money. I only fight for a prize. This is all about me and my family, and I don't care who I hurt. Including my best friend in the whole world. Like, decimated Sami Zayn.
Yeah. Yeah,
and that's the story
point they try to keep selling with him.
But that's the story. Yeah. That's the story they're telling.
Yeah.
I think in many ways Kevin Owens can be both a phenomenal face and a phenomenal heel. In this case, he's doing the, I'm going to beat up anyone because of the money. But it's, to break it down, it's all for his family. And anybody who saw the video of his kid watching his dad debut for the first time, like if in a different world, that'd give him the biggest babyface reaction.
Yeah.
Because we all saw the video. We all saw it, and maybe I'm on a Kevin Steen high or Kevin Owens high because I just listened to his podcast with Chris Jericho. His kid is like the biggest John Cena fan. So for that kid to react the way he did,
talk about a slap in the face, dude.
So that's what makes the kid's reaction so good. And I would have loved to see the camera on the kid's face for tonight.
Yeah. By the way, it's good Kirsty's not in the chat right now because
Are they
there are a lot of
evaluating
people.
me?
No, they're just asking, "Are you high?" Did she say Ryback has more charisma than Kevin Owens?
I'm not on drugs. My goodness gracious.
I will say this about something, and I'm going to backtrack, but it's all going to tie in together.
Go for it.
I believe
On
that.
June 27th, 2011, CM Punk came out in Vegas, Thomas and Mack Center. I was there. Not that I wouldn't have forgot anyways. But he said he gave a promo of a lifetime. The weeks after that promo, he started coming out and saying, I want change. There was a specific promo with him and Hunter on the SmackDown before Night of Champions, before they had a one-on-one match, and said, CM Punk said, talking down to Triple H is saying, well, I don't know why, I'm the COO, you're already badmouthing me. CM Punk is saying, this is the promo, of course. CM Punk is saying, well, because you're exactly like Vince. You're set in his old ways. This is 2011. You're set in his old ways. You don't get the change that I want to see happen. I want to be the leader of the change. I just think it's so, what's the word I'm looking for? Ironic? No, maybe. Different. I guess this shows how much change. Fast forward 2004, maybe 14, 2015. I think we're seeing that change, and the guy at the top of that change is Triple H, because years ago we wouldn't have seen, Punk or Bryan or Sami Zayn or Neville or Cesaro, maybe, but I don't think of the roles that they're in right now. So to see Kevin Owens 100% clean. Not cheating. I thought he was going to win, but I didn't think it was going to be 100%.
I thought he was going to cheat.
80% clean. To see him beat John Cena clean was like, wow. Like, that to me was more surreal than actually him winning. The way he won was like, oh my God, I can't believe he just won that way. I literally, my jaw was through the floor.
He just won.
Yeah.
It was a good surprise, twisty ending. I will give that.
Because
very Hollywood.
Well, that was because that was the one you got wrong.
Yeah.
Or you too, but
it was.
That was the one because John
I thought
Cena.
that the champ was there. The champ was gonna take it.
And I even asked it on my Twitter page, trying to stump George. The only other person I can think of that beat John Cena in his very first night on the main roster was Carlito.
Wow.
But even that was like cheating,
Yeah.
But with that said, it's like, this is 100% clean. So now it's like, again, going back to what I said about the Ascension, you book someone strong and they're going to look strong. So with that said, like, do you at least kind of, what would I say? Of course you respect them, but like, what do you think about Kevin Owens now? Like, well, yeah, he may not be that guy that, maybe not be sold on him, but guess what? He just beat John Cena.
I was impressed in this match. 100%. I mean, jumping back and rope to rope, 180 degrees. I hadn't noticed that, or maybe he hadn't been showing it yet when we saw him on Raw and SmackDown.
Yeah.
So did garner a little respect, but still, I don't know. I just love the blazing huge shticks. You guys know that. I just love a personality, and I think he talks well on the mic, but he'll probably get a lot better.
I think given enough time, just because
you'll understand that the character will come out.
Next time he comes up and is a huge deal, I think then
also
maybe I'll
they did announce Cena Owens 2 for Money in the Bank.
Yes, they did.
Yes,
already announced.
People were not happy about that.
Really?
Yeah, on Twitter, I was just kind of following all the tweets as the live tweets as they were happening, and people were sort of like, "Oh, again? Oh, another rematch." People thought that fell flat. I don't know.
Well,
now that I've seen this match tonight, I am looking forward to seeing that again.
I'm looking forward to those two people to do a match again.
Yeah.
I'm aware Cena is probably going to win that one to set up a third one. But I'm okay because then we get 3 matches.
Here's the thing about that is John Cena is the main man. He can do no wrong.
Right.
Yeah.
So, I mean, for the longest time, I've been saying, and I love John Cena. I'm saying there is a place for John Cena at all times. But I'm saying if you have him lose to somebody, he's not going to hurt John Cena.
Right.
You know, like the way he beat Rusev, it's like you're not going to lose anything to beat by losing to Rusev, especially not the I Quit match because obviously Cena never quits. But like, and then so I can't ever predict. I can't. How can I say this? I don't like when people say that WWE is predictable because then what happens is Taker loses to Brock at WrestleMania.
Yeah.
I don't like when saying because everything goes through Vince. So when people does say that Vince is out of touch, well, guess what? Kevin Owens just beat John Cena.
That I've read that a bunch of places that people are saying anyone who thinks this is
so even if John
antiquated.
Cena beats Kevin Owens clean next month or in 2 weeks, I keep saying next month in 2 weeks, technically next month because it's in June. At the end of the day, Kevin Owens beat John Cena 100% clean in his very first match on the main roster, and no one can ever take that away from him.
Not to mention Kevin Owens has been. I think this is only his 4th televised match.
Yeah, I mean,
including
it can't be
NXT.
more than that.
Yeah, probably less. I think he fought
CJ Parker, Sami Zayn twice, Finn Balor.
5. Less than 10. Way less than 10. A single-digit amount of matches.
You guys
on
convinced
TV.
me. I'm going to respect this guy until he comes around again.
I haven't seen a big-time pay-per-view debut since probably The Shield. And I think that was their first match ever on the main roster.
This was quite a lot of hoopla
at TLC,
for a new boy.
I made the mistake of thinking that we were going to be about 15 minutes at this point, and then I can talk about something we need to talk about. We're way past that, but I'm still going to talk about something we need to talk about. We love reading your tweets and your comments and your reviews, and we want to know a little more about what you think about the show we're doing. So if you head on over to podcast1.com, just podcast1.com, I'm pretty sure that's all they need to do. There will be a 3-minute survey about how we're doing on this podcast. It'll take 3 minutes, and it'll really help us understand and know what's working, what's not working. Should we bring the Dolph Ziggler action figure back? Should it be Ryback again? Should we go out and buy another one? Should we get a partnership with Mattel? All those things, that's what that survey will do for us. It'll take 3 minutes. It's at podcast1.com.
Yes,
and I should have said that 20 minutes ago. But I said that.
And there's a comment fill in there, I believe, where you can all talk about how gorgeous we are and fabulous.
All those things.
And, yeah. How much you love us.
And match number 5.
They're gonna say how much they love us, George. It's okay.
Here's interesting news, right? It's breaking news.
Oh.
Well, I don't know the validity of it, so
Please.
it's more of a debate than
Please,
actual
sir.
news. But they're saying, thanks to Kevin Owens, a lot of the next month in June, a lot of the main roster is getting cut in exchange for NXT guys.
Ooh. Because I heard it, and
there's always that speculation.
Yeah, but Kevin Owens specifically,
You might be right.
because there was pretty big news this week that it was Kevin Owens is joining the main roster, and I didn't believe it until I saw a picture of the T-shirt he debuted tonight. That is also red, white, and blue.
The Fight Owens fight on
It's
the
got
back.
Fight Owens
two
fight.
new t-shirts on last week.
Yeah, that I was like, that's something you do if you're on the main roster. But to cut people, who would?
Because here's the thing, and I was thinking about that the
And
other
then
day.
I guess you would send people back down if they're ready to get,
down.
or you would have to just literally cut people and then they'd release them.
I was listening to something the other day, and they were talking about TNA, and what if they close doors? You know, who would they pick up, or who would WWE pick up? And no, I'm not saying that nobody's good enough to be in WWE, but that roster is so full.
Yeah.
Like, I mean, you got to think this in the past, we've had a 3-hour pay-per-view or network special, SmackDown, Raw, and you always feel like they're rushing things and running out of time. Mind you, this is without Randy Orton, without Big Show, barely got Mark Henry back. So it's like those are 3 guys that are now going to be inserted on the shows, which means there might not be much more time for other people. And I don't know. I mean,
because I remember an early cover photo for this event had Roman Reigns on it, which is funny because Roman Reigns wasn't on this card at all.
No.
They announced the Money in the Bank. They say 6 people, but they've specified that there's more. And I believe it was Kofi, Big Show, not Big Show.
Kofi, Neville, Reigns, Orton, Sheamus.
Possibly Sheamus.
Ziggler was in there
I
too,
shouldn't have mentioned it before I had it pulled up. It's what I shouldn't have done.
Well, but what do you guys think about that? Do you think that there are guys on the main roster that have gotten complacent, who could maybe use a little bit of a threat from the NXT boys?
Possibly. I think what's happening in NXT and the way that system works and the way creative works there needs to come up with those guys.
Yeah.
Because there are a lot of guys on the main roster that had they come through the NXT system would be amazing in NXT, and they'd be amazing from Go had they come up. So ultimately, it's Triple H's way versus Vince's way would be the easy way to pitch it. I'm sure it's way more complicated than that, but that's the gist of it.
I mean, that seems pretty accurate. I'd put it that way.
Well, some of us might want to get hired there later, so we don't want to.
Me too. Okay, no.
We don't want to deal in absolutes.
Bad.
We think that may be.
And Renee Young sucks, and I'm ready to take her job. Whenever. I'm just saying.
That's not a good way.
I love her. Stop it. All right.
She is. I think they signed her to a huge
contract.
contract.
She's jealous because she has.
Also, in the Money in the Bank.
Admittedly.
In the Money in the Bank match, it'll be Neville, Roman Reigns, Randy Orton, Kofi Kingston, Sheamus, and Dolph Ziggler.
Yes.
That's 6 people, meaning there's 2 more people. Probably Dean Ambrose if we don't get that rematch.
Yeah.
And then Kane. Kane finally get that face turn.
No.
He doesn't really need.
I say Ambrose and Rollins one more time.
Yeah.
You think?
And then 2 more. Like they have enough depth with those 2 other people.
Hopefully Cesaro.
Also,
Cesaro, yeah.
Hopefully.
Also, someone in the chat's asking, not sure why Kofi Kingston's in Money in the Bank. You should just watch other Money in the Banks. That's why. He gets the same reason he's in the Royal Rumble every year. He gets his traditional ladder or spectacular spots.
He'll give us a moment that we appreciate,
for
sure.
That's his
And
his
I love
job.
Kofi Kingston, and I kind of am supportive of the New Day, but I hate that he is lumped in with them now, and we don't get our little Kofi Kingston moment.
But that's what I like, that he's going to be in the match by himself.
Yes.
And the New Day is
I'm
probably
looking forward to that.
the New Day is probably going to defend the tag team titles without him.
Bray Wyatt. Good job.
Ooh, thank you.
Trini boy. 27.
Yes.
And then Ryback will have the IC title, so he'll be out of that picture. All those things. I really liked.
We'll get there soon.
She's excited
I'm
to talk about it.
I'm waiting.
The match before that one, Neville, Bo Dallas. Another really interesting thing they did here, which was they found stuff that happened months ago, close to a year ago in NXT, and referenced it. Back when Bo Dallas was NXT champion, before he got called up to the main roster.
And oddly enough, Bo Dallas is still wearing the same played-out, ill-fitting, like granny panties as he was in NXT.
Pretty much.
Just saying.
He makes it work. And then
I don't know if he does. Again, I was reading the
We're
tweets,
dudes.
and the female fans think that he could get a little bit of fitting done on those white briefs. But there's no better word for that. Those are just undies. They're just undies.
Well, that's if we're bringing it down, that's what it all is.
Right.
Also, I heard a really funny tweet about the Kevin Owens John Cena match. There's like, this is the first main event caliber match I've ever seen where both wrestlers' gear could have been bought at a Modell's. I was like, that's really funny.
Love that.
What's Modell's?
It's a sporting goods store on the East Coast.
Never heard of it.
Fair enough.
I've heard of Ross.
Oh,
But it's the Ross of sporting goods stores.
Oh.
Specifically, that quality and quantity.
love it.
But what do we think of Neville and Bo Dallas going a good 9 minutes here?
Yeah.
8 minutes, 54.
Match was good.
Neville over. Is anyone tired of Neville? I'm not, but I'm starting to see.
No, I would lean towards Bo Dallas needs a little more time somewhere else before I have to.
I would have
him
liked
again
Bo
on a
Dallas to
pay-per-view
win.
or-
Yeah, that's how I felt.
Really?
I felt that. Well, because I felt the more interesting choice would be to have Bo Dallas win, because up until now Neville's running roughshod. Because you have to think realistically. Neville was about to beat John Cena for the U.S. title before a Rusev run-in.
Yeah.
Like, that's how strong Neville looks. So if Bo Dallas can beat him, even dirty, if Bo Dallas can somehow find a way to beat Neville, that would make Neville look like a king, pardon my pun, because those are the only other big loss Neville's had since he joined the main roster, was that he lost to King Barrett, or he lost to Wade Barrett, who became King Barrett in the
Bad
King
News Barrett. I haven't heard the name Wade in a long time.
His name is Wade Barrett.
His name is Stu.
Fair enough. And when people on WWE television have two names, a first and a last name, I make a point to say them as much as possible.
That's right.
So they don't get taken away, and that guy just doesn't become Ziggler.
Yeah.
No.
And I still call him Antonio Cesaro, damn it.
Same here.
And Biggie Langston.
Oh yes, and I remember that.
And Alexander Rusev.
And the Corpus Christi crowd was a little interesting.
They were unpredictable. Yes.
They were not anti-Cena,
No.
which was funny.
And that's the unpredictable part to me.
I find that because
They're split almost everywhere these days. But Corpus Christi?
I've heard things. I feel like there was an event there. I feel like there was an event there fairly recently where this was a similar problem, and people were saying like that arena, the sound in that arena is just so strange that it kind of just goes up, so you don't hear people as loudly as you could. So that would explain a little bit of it. And
wherever they had the camera that was picking up the sound, I heard a couple offhanded comments just from one person.
Yes.
At several times throughout this evening, right?
Also, a lot of the backstage interviews, I still heard Cole. I still heard Michael Cole talking. Just how whatever Michael Cole's talking about at his desk.
They were kind of amped tonight.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Oh,
I mean,
we went back to, because they always walk the line between talk radio during a wrestling match and then commentary during a wrestling match, and they were more on the talk radio side tonight.
Yeah, like I think they actually drank those Mountain Dew drinks.
Well, and Jerry Lawler called Michael Cole
Yes!
JR. It was so
I had
awesome.
such a laugh about that. Did you guys think that was
Back down,
funny?
Michael.
And there was something about like the Love Boat and Julie and who so and so was married
Yes.
to in the 80s that had me Googling like past wives. Yeah, they were turned up tonight.
They were a little. Probably they had
say the least.
They had some kickstart.
Yeah.
Some Mountain Dew kickstart.
In response
Now-
to your question, though, I do think they should do something with Neville. Like if they either okay, so
He's in. He's in the Money in the Bank match.
Oh, that's true.
A really good play would be to give him the briefcase, and then have him to give.
That would be
because we're
interesting.
still so early in his introduction that he can become Mr. Money in the Bank, Adrian, or he can become Mr. Money in the Bank, Neville. He has a first name, I swear. And then he can enter into a program with a Bo Dallas or a Bray Wyatt or anyone in between. And we're going to forget that he has that briefcase to a certain extent. And we're going to be more worried about, because that's the point. The point is to stamp them the future, but don't make them the future in 2 weeks.
Right.
You stamp them the future and have the briefcase just be something you almost forget about. And Neville would be the really long play. I don't think they're going to do it, but that's what I would want.
We said the same
Well,
thing with
if they
Daniel Bryan.
do,
Yeah,
we can reference this, and you were right.
exactly.
Just saying.
But just remember, I mean, even if he wins, doesn't mean he's going to win the title.
Yeah, that's
Damian
true.
Sandow.
That's true, but it's still it's a franchise tag. It's very similar to a franchise tag in NFL.
Yeah.
That it's in the next 12 months, this is who we see. This is who we see leading our company in the top spot. That doesn't
Unless
always
you're Damian Sandow.
it doesn't always mean the champion.
Damian Sandow.
Yep. So
Damian Sandow?
Well, he was Money in the Bank.
Damian Sandow.
And he
so
lost to
the
John
match
Cena.
after this, nothing happened, right, guys?
No, it was absolutely boring, and I could not have predicted it no matter what. Terrible.
It was. All right. The match
I'm
after
not even
this.
excited to talk
Are you
about it.
scooting
I'm
me
not
over?
even. I am.
The match
scooting
after this
myself.
was
That
the
excited? Do you want me to give
elimination.
you space?
Yes. Yeah.
All right, guys. The match after this was the Elimination Chamber match for the vacant WWE Intercontinental Championship. Does anyone else follow at WWE Vacant?
Nope.
He's a real guy.
Nope.
He's a real guy. He's beaten Andre the Giant. He's beaten Hulk Hogan. He's vacant. He was champion up until tonight. He didn't.
Is
he
it as
wasn't
good
involved
as
in the match.
WWE creative humor?
No, but it's still good.
Okay.
Still good. It's probably the same collective of folks.
Probably the same person.
Yes. But he was defending his title tonight, but he wasn't in the match. Who was in this match was Sheamus, R-Truth, King Barrett, Dolph Ziggler, Mark Henry, who was replacing Rusev.
What did you guys think of that choice?
Mark Henry.
We all thought it was going to be Bray Wyatt.
I forgot
or
about
maybe
Bray
possibly Roman Reigns.
Well, they announced early on in the night that it was going to be a former world champion.
So that eliminated
so I was thinking the Miz.
Yeah.
Randy Orton was still around.
Randy Orton would
Show.
have been another good one.
I was thinking Big Show.
But you have to think also someone who would want the Intercontinental Championship. Like Randy Orton, I wouldn't believe that. Mm-hmm. If Randy Orton and Roman Reigns, I would not believe that. Whereas like I think they're floating too close to the sun right now.
See, Roman Reigns would have been cool just because he fills that Daniel Bryan void in terms of headlining the shows.
Yes.
With that, so they can headline the Intercontinental Championship with Roman Reigns, but
Bray Wyatt would have been. I think Bray Wyatt was an obvious choice. That's why they didn't do it. Mm-hmm. Mark Henry was there. Mark Henry is a fine choice. I think a lot of people thought it was a little random.
It felt super random.
A little.
It did. Yeah.
A little random.
We haven't seen him a lot lately.
Yeah, random's okay.
SmackDown
Random's okay. Random is spontaneity. Random is a lot of good things. The only thing we all didn't like about Mark Henry is that if you put in Randy Orton or Roman Reigns or Bray Wyatt, that's a wrench. That's
right.
From go, you're like, that guy might win the whole match. Whereas you put Mark Henry in, you're not suspending it's like, so it'll still be Barrett or Sheamus.
Right. It didn't change my prediction at all.
Yeah. Well, your prediction.
Although I will say, if Rusev was in it, I would have picked Rusev to win.
Fair enough.
Well, yeah.
And especially you knew they had something planned with him and Ziggler, so I kind of feel bad for everyone involved. They had something in planned.
I think we just moved forward to it because we had that backstage with Lana and Ziggler. And Lana and Ziggler are together now.
So good.
Yes.
Can I just say for a second,
amazing.
She is a fantastic actress. Whatever she's pushing at the time, she sort of changed her persona now to talk as a single woman who is free from Rusev. She really pulls it off. She can do subtlety, which is, I think, what is lacking in some of the divas a little bit, is that subtlety when you're just on the mic and you're not in the ring to push the storyline. And Lana's got it. I think she might be the breakout actress of this bunch. In 10 years, when we're sitting here talking about the divas, I think we're going to be going, oh, well, not surprised that Lana won that Oscar.
Or the...
Just saying.
you think she's going to move on from them?
I do.
Like she's going to be a Stacy Keibler almost?
Yes.
Yeah, in the sense that
if
she'll
I
just
could
have...
pick any of them to follow that trajectory, it would definitely be Lana.
Is she going to be on Dancing with the Stars?
That's not what she's gonna. She's an actress, but she's a serious actress. She's not gonna need to do Dancing with the Stars.
No,
WWE,
they would never.
But WWE has, for the first time, a fairly decent infrastructure in place that when you get somebody that talented, you don't lose them. Because I think they've seen that too many times with The Rock specifically. That if you get somebody that huge, you have to have a movie studio, you have to have a record label, you have to have ins at places that you don't have stuff. So that you.
Speaking of record labels, Miss Nikki Bella has been recording some music. Hashtag just saying with WWE Records.
Got it.
So yes, but all these divas, the acting, the singing, whatever they want to do, I think that this is one of the best rosters they've had of those ladies. And obviously, being a reality star is super important right now. Being the big personality, and Lana is the head of that to me. And I am disappointed that we didn't get to see whatever the Rusev, Dolph Ziggler, Lana storyline that was going to materialize tonight, that we missed out on.
We still can.
I bet it would have been juicy.
We still can, but I'm sure.
We'll just have to wait a little while. I'm not a good waiter. I'm very impatient.
But this match was great. This was a 25-minute Elimination Chamber match for a vacant Intercontinental Championship. You never knew who was going to win. Because we all thought Sheamus.
Except for one person.
Except for one.
Well, I mean, a couple other people picked Barrett.
Why did you guys? And I mean, I guess I understand, but what was your thinking in the Sheamus prediction?
Because that Reddit fan, the Mets user for
Mets
whatever, said that Sheamus was going to win, and he was the favorite, and so I picked Sheamus. Damn you, Mets Reddit user.
Mets fan forever. Mets fan forever. I'm big on squared circle, right? Big on R squared circle. My theory, I was between Sheamus or King Barrett. Both made so much sense. And then I went on, there I think are 4 or 5 different sports books giving odds. And Sheamus was like If you had bet money on Sheamus, I think it was like 1-11.
Yeah.
Like the odds were like he was such an odds-on favorite. Whereas Ryback, you could have got like 5-1 on your money.
I should have put some Vegas-style moolah down on this.
To be fair, no Vegas book was giving you this action.
Now that you kind of think about it, like, wow, like they have been building up Ryback for a second.
Yeah.
With his interviews, and it's like, oh, wow.
He kind of got lost in it.
In all honesty, I picked him because I wanted him to win, which is a very girly thing to do. I know, because I love him and I love his story.
You got the Ryback pants.
And I was sort of thinking that the fact that he was on the poster meant that he was not going to win. Because the last time they pushed Roman Reigns, remember you guys were all saying when Roman Reigns won, oh, he was on the poster and he did all the interviews and it's BS that he won because of that.
I never said that. And I sound nothing like that,
sure?
by the way.
We don't sound like the internet. Because that's your
internet. I do sound like that a
Maybe
little
not
bit.
you guys specifically.
I do sound like that a little bit.
But so that was my only little bit of hesitation, but I just thought, literally, listen, I have been gearing up towards this all week, and I just thought, if I buy the shirt, which I did a couple weeks ago, they were having a clearance. I got a Nikki Bella shirt, Steph shirt, all $6.99, good stuff. Oh, I didn't even think of it. Oh. Too sad. Anyway, if I buy the shirt, I cut it out this morning. I was like, I can't wear it like this. If I get ready to wear my Ryback shirt and I put him on my prediction list, he will win. The secret, the power of attraction. He's always talking about it.
Can you make Kevin
Owens
win?
I think he's going to win, and
he
thinks he's going to win. He will win, and he did.
Can you make Kevin Owens win, beat John Cena again?
Oh, you're making me feel very powerful right now with my thoughts. Maybe if you're nice.
Well, honestly, I think not to discredit your predictions, but I'm pretty sure if you're Christian Rosenberg, you can predict the future if you're okay with just being incorrect. Christian Rosenberg went 0-6.
Well, don't remind him. I'm sure he's like crying right now.
No, he was rooting for Ambrose into the Ambrose match because he wanted to go 0-6. Because who wants to go 1-0?
Right.
Just to put it in perspective, Rome and Hobo didn't get their predictions to me. They got 0 points. So did Christian Rosenberg. He could have just not submitted. So if you want to know,
are you saying that people didn't try hard? Are you saying that the field was not competitive for my win?
No, I'm not saying that. I'm merely saying. I'm merely saying if you
take away from my big Ryback Nikki Bella win.
I'm merely saying if you want to know what the future is, ask Christian Rosenberg. It'll be the opposite.
Okay.
That's all I'm saying. This match was awesome. I'm not gonna go move for move on it.
Well, everybody saw the show.
Yeah. So.
But I do have a little bit of beef with this match, and even the one before that. I don't think there was enough brutality in these chamber matches. There was a couple moves from Sheamus and Ryback, but they kept emphasizing the brutality of the chamber. And it's like they do that all the time with like cage matches, where it's like, what's the point of having a cage match if you're not going to use it, or if somebody's going to interfere?
I think they did a good job on this.
That's a good point.
But they did a good job on this emphasizing, like, oh, they landed on a steel gate, or they landed on a steel grate, or they got thrown through plexiglass. Like, they did a good job emphasizing the brutality of fairly safe spots to do.
Yeah.
Because they have to do a ladder match in 2 weeks. A lot of the same, I think most of the same people.
And we saw a lot of blood on the last one.
I can already imagine. Like, oh, I'm in the chamber match and I'm in the ladder match. Crap.
That's a lot of people.
Damn, why do I have to be Dolph Ziggler?
Or Kofi Kingston, or I guess Neville wasn't, but.
Do you think that your expectations were just high because of think how brutal the last one was?
At times, because if that's the case,
we didn't see any blood tonight.
Why
I
not
just
just
think about that?
Well, but that's the point.
They're not allowed to have blood.
Well, it's not that they're not allowed to have blood, or like blood is best if it only happens in their case like twice every quarter.
Right.
So 8 times a year you can have blood. I'm just arbitrarily making a rule.
I like that.
WWE, you can have blood on your television 8 times a year.
Get your notebooks out, people. Make your tallies.
But if you have blood that seldom,
right?
It's really important when it happens. We saw that last week with that Ziggler headbutt. That Ziggler headbutt where I'm convinced he bladed himself. I'm convinced.
Do you think so?
I'm convinced he headbutted Sheamus and then quickly bladed himself, and the hasty blade is what made 12 stitches.
He's too vain for that.
I don't know.
I'm surprised you predict because I just think
he's too committed.
He would get fined if he did that. Batista said that he got fined $100,000 for blading.
Really?
Yeah.
Well, then that probably didn't happen.
Like, it was his match with Chris Jericho. Even Dean Malenko, who was the agent of the match, got fined.
Well, then.
But that's so hard.
I'm incorrect.
And it's funny. It's funny. Is in Chris Jericho's book, he was saying how, like everybody denied it. Oh, a wedding blade. Yeah. Well, look at this phantom mystery camera that you didn't even know about, and they're like, all right, fine. But I heard it was Batista's fault, Batista's idea, so he ended up paying everybody's fine, which was actually pretty cool.
Wow, that's really cool of him.
Cheers to that.
So King Barrett, he's the first man out.
Of course he is.
He's the first man eliminated.
Of course he is.
He's the first man eliminated.
That was a surprise.
And he was...
No, it wasn't.
To Kaori and King Barrett, or King Scott Narver, it was a surprise because that was their pick to win the whole match. And he was eliminated by R-Truth, who was our...
I thought R-Truth was going to be in and out of there.
We all thought that. That's why our tiebreaker question was, how long would R-Truth be in the match? And R-Truth was in the match 14 minutes.
A shocking 14 minutes.
It was a shocking 14 minutes.
And not that I begrudge him anything. Love R-Truth. I just didn't see him going that long.
No.
And he sure did.
But R-Truth gets eliminated by Ryback. And Sheamus...
He took a little bit of abuse there.
And then Sheamus... Somebody locked Sheamus in his pod for a little bit. But, like, nobody in particular... Like, it's one thing if, like, you see that it was Ryback or you see that it was Ziggler. Mm-hmm. Like, it was somebody who went out of their way to... But just, like, something malfunctioned and Sheamus was locked in his pod longer.
You mean before he came out?
Yeah.
Well, he locked himself in his pod.
Is that what we're...
Yes. Did you look away for, like, 2 secs?
Probably. Was that made very clear?
Yeah, that was, that big old cross necklace.
Oh, okay. He locked himself in the pod. Okay, then that makes complete sense.
Which, once that happened, I was sort of like, of course, they're trying to push him as a bad guy. Of course he did.
Okay, then I love that.
Of course he did.
But, yeah.
Why didn't he bust down the door, though? That was my thing. I thought that they did really have him legit locked in, and that he was just going to, like, boom, bust through the plexiglass.
But if he locked himself in there
there was no plexiglass.
Oh, that's really smart heelish stuff.
Yeah, right?
I wish I had caught that.
Big ups to Ryback, though. His first title belt.
Yes.
You would think with all these titles, he would have at least had some run. Well, but it's his first belt.
Well, because... And the reason being is they booked him so strong that he skipped what would be an Intercontinental Championship. Because that's what I thought at the end of this match. Mm-hmm. Was like, oh, Ryback holding an Intercontinental Championship. That's how that's supposed to happen.
Yeah.
Like similar to Rusev holding a U.S. title 8 months after running roughshod through the whole roster. Like, you're not supposed to face John Cena for the world title at the end of your undefeated streak. Mm-hmm. Where it's like that. That was my issue with Ryback. But he's getting a do-over. Because now he's Intercontinental Champion.
Yes. And you just know that it means so much to him.
Yes.
Can we just take a second to, like, be a little bit cheeseball? All these guys have been in the game for a long time. They come and go. These belts change hands. Ryback has been wanting to be a WWE champion since he was 12 years old. And I don't know if it's just because we're sort of in this Hollywood world where there are a lot of, like, jaded people and a lot of narcissists. Like, I interview a lot of narcissistic actors and actresses every single day. And when these people come to town, when the WWE superstars come to town, they're a sort of different breed, and it means a lot to them. And when I'm a fan and I'm sitting there watching, Barrett winning or Sheamus winning, would that be their best day? Would they go home tonight and be like, yeah, I'm the champion? No.
I agree with you there that
Ryback, yes.
Looking at the match.
And that's what I want to see happen.
Looking at the match, everyone in this match, minus R-Truth or Ryback, are former world champions in the WWE.
Right, they couldn't care less.
R-Truth is a former NWA world champion.
No one cares.
I know, but like, if we're stacking them up, and versus Ryback, who has not held a belt at all.
Well, even R-Truth had the U.S. title for like a hiccup. Yeah.
Like any of these people had a mid-card belt at some point. Ziggler had the world title for a hiccup twice. 2 different times. So the more I look at it, the more I like this choice.
Yeah, I know I'm a sucker for the story and the whole thing and stuff, but it's a good choice for me.
I'm very excited about this. I'm very excited Sheamus didn't win. In spite of that being my choice, this was way more interesting to me. This was way more shocking. Similar to the John Cena match where the internet breaks. Like, I like stuff like that. Where it's like, do you remember that time? Like, we'll remember for a little bit that time Ryback won his first title. Assuming he keeps moving forward and it becomes a name. But continues to be a name in pro wrestling.
Yeah, I mean, we'll see what happens tomorrow.
Of course.
Tune in.
I know, right?
Tune in. And so we...
But whoop, whoop, Just saying. Whoop, whoop.
And we're on to the main event. Dean Ambrose versus Seth Rollins, with Seth Rollins and company, who is Jamie Noble, Joey Mercury, and Kane. What do we think of this finish?
It was a good twist.
Yeah.
It was unexpected. Again, what you were just saying is like, we want to see the unexpected. We've all been watching for so long. You guys know everything that's ever happened ever. I don't pretend to, but like, I think it takes a lot to shock the WWE fan, and this probably did it, yeah?
Well, yes, because, well, this finish was interesting because anytime you have a two-referee, one makes a call, one does, anytime you have that type of, it's called a dusty finish. Because Dusty Rhodes used to book them this way. Because Dusty Rhodes, when Dusty Rhodes was like in charge of booking stuff, he'd book finishes like this, so they'd be really hot finishes, but your heel champion gets to leave with the championship, but then you still get to book a really hot like this would normally be like normally like a house show, but he'd do it all the time, where somebody would win clean and then somebody would come in and just be like, the rope was broken, therefore this match is a no contest.
I think
like
in Vince's mind, I think he knew, obviously the whole plan was Seth Rollins to be the champ, but he does this all the time, and I'm going to reference something else that happened 15 years ago, that he teases the audience. Let's see what happens. Let's see how people react to this, and then take it away from them. Same thing that happened to Chris Jericho 15 years ago. When he fought Triple H, he beat Triple H, place went ape crazy bananas, and then he took it away, and then in Jericho's book he said, I wanted to see what kind of reaction they got. You'll get it again. And then Jericho was like, "Wait, did he just say again? Does that mean I'm going to get it sometime soon?" Yeah. But so it's kind of, I felt the same way when Dean Ambrose won it. I'm like, "Wait, oh my God, did this just happen?"
Yeah.
Wait. Oh my God, it's happened. Oh my God, they're playing the music. Oh my God, they have the graphic. So all those same things.
He's holding the championship.
He's holding the belt, and then of course once I saw the other graphic, I'm like, "Oh, okay." But the way people reacted was like, to me, this was like another holy s moment. Like, did this just happen again? Like, am I having the second one of the night? I liked it. I mean, I like kind of having I was already thinking about it. Like, wow, Dean Ambrose, that's another guy that, like an indie guy that everybody probably thought that never would have made it. But I liked it.
Seth Rollins too, and of all the indie guys that are on the main roster right now, he struck me as the least likely to make it to the main event, let alone hold the world championship. So that was another moment and honestly, what happened was I was probably about 10 minutes behind on this, and I made the mistake of just like checking my Facebook for something, and then all I saw was a picture of the WWE Championship held by someone, and then all caps, Dean Ambrose wins. So in my mind, and I'm watching the match still. So in my mind, I was like, "Is this happening?" And then I
double checked.
And then I see the second referee, and I kind of figure what I'm about to see, because Seth Rollins, they're playing the long game for Seth Rollins. Like, they're playing the SummerSlam, the Survivor Series for Seth Rollins. Like, he's their guy. But you can have an excursion like this, especially with the next show being in 2 weeks. Like a quick Dean Ambrose wins, and then they kind of exchange the belt all summer.
I will say this about the actual match, though. And obviously, this isn't the first time we've seen Seth Rollins versus Dean Ambrose. But with that said, I think it's kind of a little bit under par as far as compared to the rest of them. A lot of it has to do with all the interference. Yeah. Because we know that these guys can go. So we're kind of, I already have this high expectation. So when I see the interference, when I see the J&J, and I love J&J security, I love Kane, more so J&J. It's like, oh, it's not really necessary, So
like these guys can just go.
Those two go.
Yeah, exactly.
Or like have the interference earlier, and then they all get thrown, and then the referee throws them all out, or something like that.
I want to see like a promo with somebody that says like, "Hey, Seth, I get it, you're the champion, but in 10 years, nobody's going to remember you because you keep getting all this interference. Now, be a man, man up, be a champion." And then Seth Rollins maybe
better yet have someone like Edge tell him that.
Yeah, and then Seth Rollins having that Triple H a la 2000 kind of title reign that kind of just shows that he definitely does belong at the top.
Oh yeah, although this is similar to the Triple H 2000 in the sense that he keeps winning, and
it
like
feels similar.
In like the really. That said, I really like this match. This finish was a little wonky to me, in like the rules sense. Like the idea that you give Dean Ambrose the title, but then there's a switch. I'm okay with that, but the actual disqualification of Seth Rollins because he intentionally threw a referee in front of diving Dean Ambrose, that was correct.
Yeah,
that's a little wonky. Like how can, and then another referee, and then it gets held up, and I understand the need for that schmaz, but it could have been a little clearer to me. It could have been a clearer situation of like Seth Rollins.
A cleaner, dirty situation.
Yes. Thank you. Yes. Also, I thought for sure we were getting a Roman Reigns heel turn.
Yes.
They did kind of, when I was it on the pre-show?
It was the pre-show.
The way they said it was like, oh God, he's turning heel.
Well, because the pre-show was like, I'm in your corner. And then the middle of the show, it was Triple H saying, well, if you show up, Dean Ambrose is disqualified.
Yeah.
And I thought for sure Roman Reigns was going to come out, Dean Ambrose was going to get disqualified, and then he was going to beat down on Dean Ambrose, and then we were going to have this Shield reunion at Money in the Bank, but they're all facing each other, and now it's Seth Rollins and Roman Reigns more in line with each other, and Dean Ambrose is the odd man out. We didn't get any of that.
Well, don't you guys think they've gotten so good at messing with us?
Yeah.
Yes.
Like with social media
So
and everything
good.
now, they know what we anticipate. They know what the hardcore fans think are going to happen. They know what people want to happen. I just feel like even in the last year, there's more unexpected. There's more like,
I agree.
oh, you're screwing with me.
That's why I don't like to ever say, I mean,
You
yes,
know?
they may be predictable in some ways, but overall it's like, they're really not. Like you can't be unpredictable all the time. Obviously, you gotta just kind of go with the flow. But
Right.
yeah, I mean, I thought there was gonna be a Roman Reigns heel turn. So obviously, if that were to happen, everybody would have said, "Oh, no, well, that's predictable." So give them credit where credit's due. It didn't happen. So,
Yeah.
you know.
Yeah.
And that may be the hint at it, that it might happen later. I think that's the best choice for him long term. But that's... I already did my one armchair
get
booking.
there. We'll
I
get
already
there.
did my one armchair booking for the
I'm
night.
so tired of the Justin Bieber chants.
A little bit.
Although I can't take credit for this tweet because I saw it on somebody's retweet. They said, "Do you think at Justin Bieber concerts that they chant Seth Rollins?"
Oh my God. Justin Bieber would have no idea what that even means.
He wouldn't.
No.
Like
And
even
I
if it's
don't-
not, hey Justin Bieber, by the way, you're a wrestling insult. You'd be like, I don't know about that, eh? What's that about, eh?
That's...
Get it, 'cause
Justin
he's
Bieber,
Canadian.
that-
A boot,
that-
eh?
Nice.
He's more tweeny, dog. Yo, I'm Justin Bieber. I talk like this, dog. That you just say dog. That's how
Dog.
I do my Justin Bieber. Dean Ambrose over. Dean Ambrose over by disqualification after a pinfall win, where he holds the championship. Lillian
You're right, it
Garcia,
is a little complicated.
Lillian
And don't
Garcia
forget, he
announces
still
him
has-
as
I love,
champion.
yes, again. We
He's
saw her at
still-
the beginning. She gets back on the mic, and you hear her, and then you go, wait, but she's going to go, but.
And he still has the belt.
And then
No,
she
no.
says, however.
But I'm saying before that, before the referee comes to, Lillian Garcia says, and the bell rings, and Lillian Garcia says, and the winner of this match and the new WWE champion, Dean Ambrose. They have a lower third. They give him the championship. People post pictures on Facebook that spoil it for me because I'm 10 minutes behind. And that's what's happening. And then the referee reverses the decision. We got swerved, guys.
Ooh.
That's
nice.
I love how they're owning that term because that was an insider term in wrestling for a long time.
Yeah.
But now they're doing that reality show.
But the main thing is, he still has the belt.
Yeah.
He took the belt with him. He's like, oh, well, I won, so I'm taking the belt with me. I thought that was pretty cool.
Yeah, that was bad. I mean, that was Dean Ambrose style.
Yeah.
I kind of do like it whenever it's not just like a cold finish and it's still they had the end and then he grabbed the mic. It's like it just feels more spontaneous.
Well, yeah, we
Wrestling,
don't-
I think, is always best when it's spontaneous.
We don't want to tune into Raw tomorrow night just because it's Monday, and we always tune into Raw on Monday night. We want to tune into it tomorrow night because we want to see what happens.
Well, let's be real. Tomorrow night, if it's bad, would just be a pre-show to the Paul Heyman interview. Because tomorrow is my birthday.
Cannot wait. Oh yeah, you were saying that.
Tomorrow is my birthday, and I think this is my present from them. Because I get to see, I think it's a fourth Stone Cold Steve Austin, Paul Heyman interview. Live on the WWE Network. I'm so excited. And I'm sure Raw will be good too. I'm actually sure Raw will be awesome, given how awesome this show is.
But then there's going to be a really great podcast
But then
afterward.
we're going to get to see this interview.
Yeah. Finally. They've been pushing this one for a while.
Yeah, I think it was a good pay-per-view though.
Yeah.
Again, like I know I had some issues with some of the finishes, but overall, you had Kevin Owens clean. Again, I can't emphasize that even more. Like that's so rare. Like even if it's like I know Brock beat the holy hell out of John Cena and Daniel Bryan beat him, but for Kevin Owens to come in on his first night, essentially, our first match in WWE,
First match in
and
the
beat
main
him
roster.
clean, it's still a little surreal to me.
I don't think I'm completely over it. Because I think I'm still a little in shock, and I think there's still, like, there's the like pessimist in me that's like, they're still gonna book him wrong. But like in 3 weeks, they might still be doing it right, and I'm not gonna know what to do, because some people just love to hate Cena.
Yeah.
So if they're booking Owens against Cena correctly, they're not gonna know what to do.
I mean, here's a guy 10 years ago watching him at a Jewish community center in front of like 300-400 people. So I'm kind of happy that you're kind of that fan that doesn't really know that independent background. Because I feel like not everybody can be nerds, even though you are a wrestling nerd. Don't try to say that you're not. So I kind of like that. And I kind of like that you don't know his background, but
it's like someone be like, I don't know, I don't care.
Yeah, but at the same time, it's like here's a guy that, and you say that maybe he doesn't have the best body, but here's a guy who didn't have the best body and said you WWE. I'll be the first to admit, I didn't think he was going to ever make it to WWE because of strictly his body. Along with a few other people. Watching him 10 years ago at the same show, it was Kevin Owens against Samoa Joe. Now they're literally like the front page of the WWE.com, and I think that's just like amazing. It's one of those things where don't ever count anyone out or don't even count out the company, because hey, you think you know, but you really have no idea.
Yeah,
you think you know, but you have no.
I for one am very excited about wrestling in general, because even when it's not its best, which it is, tonight was a pretty good example of a good card. Even when it's not its best, we're still at the best possible time to be following it and talking about it and listen and like being interested in it.
Yeah, I really, like I said, like I mentioned earlier, that change that Punk was talking about, I think it's happening. It's been happening. Most of it is because of NXT and the way it's brought up.
Yeah.
Because they're signing a lot of those guys, and again, they're going to have their own touring brand, so they kind of need those guys to be in the WWE exposure and then kind of headline that NXT brand. So can't wait till they come to LA.
Yeah, I cannot wait.
I think AJ Styles is coming to NXT sometime soon too.
I'm sure they're all trying to, and
especially they got that Samoa Joe deal.
Also, I love to just see all the guys I saw at the National Pennsylvania.
How long ago was this?
I saw Seth Rollins, and he was pretty young. It was pretty early, and he won a Battle Royal at the beginning of a Ring of Honor show. It was probably 2008. He won a Battle Royal at the beginning of the Ring of Honor show. He was relatively unknown. And then he had a 20-minute classic with Nigel McGuinness, who was the champion at the time. And by the middle to end of that match, we all suspended our disbelief that this nobody might take the title from Nigel McGuinness at the National Guard Armory in Pennsylvania on an pay-per-view, and that's how they're gonna start him. So also Daniel Bryan was there, not in that match,
really
but like
cool.
the time of Ring of Honor. We can reminisce about that. I think that about wraps us up. I will see you both here 2 weeks from now. We're gonna ride out. We're gonna ride out on Dean Ambrose.
We're not gonna do the AfterBuzz TV.
We're gonna ride out on Dean Ambrose's intro. You can find me at Steve Kaufmann. That's Kaufmann. I'm leaving straight from here to go to Las Vegas for my birthday. It's gonna be a 3-hour drive the way I drive. I'll be posting pictures. Please follow me.
What about you, Christy Reports?
Well, I am the champ. I don't know if everyone got that already tonight, but I am the prediction champ, and you can tweet with me at Christy Reports if you would like my super expert insider wrestling commentary.
And you can find me at Instagram and Twitter at G Hermoza. That's GHERMOZA. Yeah, that's it.
Yeah.
And we'll see you very soon.
Very
2 weeks.
soon.
In 14 days.
14 days, guys. Thanks for watching.
Buzz you later.
From executive producers Maria Menounos, Kevin Undergaro, Phil Svitek, and the entire AfterBuzz TV staff, we would like to thank you for listening to the AfterBuzz TV network. To watch or listen to other after shows and post comments or questions, be sure to visit AfterBuzzTV.com. I'm Sir Richard Wentworth, and this has been a presentation of AfterBuzz TV.
Buzz you later.
The views expressed herein are those of the hosts only and do not necessarily reflect the views of AfterBuzz TV or its owners or principals.